I already know if any other NBA YouTubers see this, they're probably gonna make a what if, but I want to do something different. Yesterday, this article came out. It was an interview with Dwayne Wade. In this interview, he talked about how him and LeBron James back in 2010 were about to go to the Chicago Bulls. I'll leave the article down below. Basically, what he said, him and LeBron James were strongly considering and were just about to go to Chicago. Then Chris Bosh announced he was going to go to Miami. I guess Chris Bosh still thought LeBron James and Dwayne Wade were going to go to Miami, so he was like, yo, let me go to Miami too. LeBron James and Dwayne Wade had a bit of a heart and didn't want to leave Chris Bosh hanging there. You know, they kind of felt obligated to go to Miami. Anyways, you could have had three of like the front runners to win MVP, pre-injury Derrick Rose, LeBron James, Dwayne Wade. I wonder how LeBron James and Joakim Noah would have got along on the same team. That would have been one of the best super teams in all of NBA history. If Derrick Rose stayed healthy, and who knows, Derrick Rose might have stayed healthy if LeBron James and Dwayne Wade went there. Which got me to think about this whole super team thing and the benefits of making a super team versus the benefits of building the right way. One of the things I actually respect about the Golden State Warriors is that they built the right way. Besides just signing Kevin Durant, they had drafted Klay Thompson, Stephen Curry, Draymond Green. Everyone else, sure, I mean, I don't expect them to build, you know, Andre Iguodala didn't draft him, so Andrew Bogut, they didn't draft him. I don't expect everyone to be drafted. What they did right was they drafted and they grew together. By the way, you can't hate on Golden State for signing Kevin Durant. You can hate Kevin Durant, that's fine. You can't hate the team for signing him, because if he would have went to any team that says, yo, I want to sign with you, that team would have taken him. That's off top. The Warriors did it the right way, and now they're going to be a great team for a very long time. Look at the Miami Heat a few years back, where they brought in LeBron James, they brought in Chris Bosh, they brought in a majority of their talent through free agency. While that team was a great team, it didn't last as long as a team like the Warriors will. And where that leads me to is what it looks like the NBA is heading to. In the NBA right now, you have tons of young teams. Celtics, Magic, Suns, Pistons, Wolves, Nuggets, Blazers, Jazz, Pelicans. A majority of the teams in the NBA are just filled with young talent. If you're an NBA fan, that should excite you, because in about 5 years, all these teams are gonna be great. The NBA is probably gonna be the most competitive it's ever been. Normally, it's like a 3 or 4 team league. Of course, there are other teams in the league, but when it comes to winning a championship, none of them really matter. See, there's like 3 tiers. You got the ones that everyone thinks are gonna win the championship, you know, the Warriors, Spurs, the Cavs. Then you have like lesser tier backslash middle ground, where these teams are just stuck in a limbo where they're not quite good enough to win a championship, but they're also not gonna land any draft picks. And then you have like the young, developing, draft picky teams. What you wanna avoid in the NBA is that middle ground, where they're just not quite good enough to win an NBA championship or not bad enough to get some nice draft picks. A prime example of this team right now is the Dallas Mavericks. No offense to the Dallas Mavericks organization. For the past few years, they've been getting into the playoffs. You know, they've been a solid NBA team, but that's not gonna really get you anywhere. That's why every year you see them trying in free agency to make something happen to spice their team up. Not the best way to build a team. Best way to build a team is through the draft. Philly knew this, and they might have went a little too far, but still, that is the best way to build a team. It's gonna take longer. Sometimes building through free agency does pay off. Sometimes it works out magnificently. But the safest, best way to do it is through the draft. Draft-built teams last longer. The Spurs are another great example of this. Yes, they traded for Kawhi Leonard, but that was on draft day, so it's basically like they drafted him. Except for recently, the Spurs were never too involved in the free agent market. And when they are, they only target a very specific type of player. Look at the last 2 acquisitions, LaMarcus Aldridge and Paul Gasol. Those were just players that everyone knew would fit perfectly with the Spurs. They don't take chances on anyone fitting in their system. They know exactly the qualities that they need for a player in their system, and they bring those players in and they grow internally. That's why the Spurs have always been up there in like the upper echelon of teams. They have lived by the same motto. They have had the same standards. Nothing changes in their recipe. That's why I'm excited about the future. If these teams can stay the way that they are and keep building on what they have now, then the NBA will have its best years coming very soon, where it's no longer a 3 or 4 team league. I'm talking about 10 teams that are NBA championship level. Of course, my Pistons will still be the favorite to win. The level of competition in the NBA will be much higher if things stay the way they are now.